Hello, and welcome back to the Becoming Relentless podcast. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe. I am a Team Mahaley coach, opposing coach, and an IFBB bikini pro. And with me is the beautiful
Danielle Kissenberger. I am not a pro yet, but stay tuned. I am also a Team Mahaley coach and posing coach, and we are excited to take you on this journey throughout our podcast. Welcome to Becoming Relentless.
All right, so today we are going to talk relationships and prep. This is a big one. I think this is a big one for both of us.
Yeah, definitely huge. Whether that be like with like your significant other or like friends, it's very important. Yeah.
I think the way that you can navigate your relationships during prep is going to set you up for a successful competing career.
I agree. It's also, dude, when you come off stage, you give so much to this prep. You come off stage, you want your people to be there. If you isolate yourself so much or cause there to be so much toxicity within your relationships, you're not going to have the best outcome when you come off stage. The real trophy isn't just the pro card. It's also who's there with you, your community.
Yeah, that's like winning doesn't matter if you don't have anybody to celebrate with. And I think that keeping that in mind, even on the really hard, dark days where you just want to be like reclusive, is super important.
Communication is going to be the biggest tool here. That's with anything. Communicate, dude. If you
Communicate, dude. Period.
Yeah. But communication is huge. I've learned this through having lots of not necessarily failed relationships, but things were taken a step back because I haven't communicated how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, how tired I am. Communicate with your people like, hey, this is rough. Like, I'm giving a lot. I need to give more into this prep. It's going to require me. Our protocols got changed and they're trash. Anything like that. Let them know like your energy is going to be drained. You'd still like to hang out with them here and there. Even if it's just presence. I think presence is enough. Like if you, like in prep, you don't have much to give, especially energy-wise, but sometimes just being around someone, whether that be a coffee date or sitting and watching a movie or anything, is enough.
Yeah, 100%. I think that communication is super key. Something that I've learned like over time through my different preps. I'm in a long-term like stable relationship right now. So just talking like purely romantically, like when I get to about the 8 to 6 week out mark in my preps, that is when Zach knows that like tunnel vision is on. Like I become very, very focused on the goal at hand. Not that I'm not beforehand, but it's like those weeks, that's when you start to see the changes. Your protocols get changed maybe every week because you're really pushing. And like Danielle was saying, your energy's low. Things are very focused, very intense. So like at that point, he and I will sit down and we'll communicate what's important to us. What do I need from him? And then also conversely, like, what does he need from me? Whether that's like Danielle said, my presence, like just being able to sit with him on a couch and like watch TV, like that's enough for him in some instances. And so just having that open door of communication and being able to say like, hey, like, I know that we said we were going to go out with our friends tonight, but like, I don't have energy. You go right ahead, please have a great time. Like, I just need to go to bed.
Yeah, I agree. I will say too, if you're an outsider, like someone else is in a prep and you're, say, it's a relationship, right? Your boyfriend's doing prep and you're on the outside and you're supporting him, but you realize that he isn't giving as much into X, Y, and Z, or and vice versa. Communicate with that person, whether you're the one in prep or outside of prep, because oftentimes, like, the person might be too tired to communicate and think that you understand, or the other way around. Like if one of y'all just communicates with each other, you're going to be way better off. Never assume anything, always communicate.
Yep, exactly. And just, I like that point of like never assuming, because especially in our like really close friendships or in our romantic relationships, if you know that other person, you guys have been dating for a while, or if you've been friends for a really long time, like your best friend, you almost think that they like get you, that they understand you like fully inside and out. But when you're on prep, like things might change. You might have different feelings, different thoughts about things. And so being able to bring up even those hard conversations is, I think, really key. Like you have to be able to be willing to be open and vulnerable and communicate even when it's difficult. And that might be like a starting point, like just saying like, hey, this is really hard for me to say because I know you like doing this, but I can't X, Y, and Z. Like,
yeah. I agree. And it's also going to make you way closer to that person. Like y'all's
Mhm.
relationship is going to become closer. Um, you're just going to grow throughout the prep together and then end up on the other side way closer as well. So you have that family coming off stage.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is like you want to be able to celebrate your success, like completing the prep,
hmm
winning. You want to be able to celebrate that with your people. So
Yeah.
treating them well during prep, like prep is not an excuse to just
Mhm.
be an asshole to everybody.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And if you're, I think a big thing too, if you're the one on the outside and someone else is prepping, and they're your friend or your boyfriend or girlfriend and whatnot, doing things for them, like just anything, cooking their food, weighing out their food, buying groceries, putting away the groceries. Dude, putting away the groceries is huge. Doing small stuff is gonna mean more to them than taking them out on a date.
Mhm.
So like that's big. Like they can't eat on a date. And honestly, walking's hard and prep. So like doing stuff like for them is going to show way more appreciation for them as well. So
Mhm.
that's a huge tip if you're not someone actually in the prep.
Yeah, like if you're outside supporting someone on prep, like even just texting them, like if you know they're doing cardio, texting them like, "Hey, how can I support you right now? Like what do you need from me while you're at your cardio session?"
Mhm.
Like I've had people text me and be like, "Hey, like what's your next meal? Send me a screenshot and like I'll make it for you so it's here when you're done." And it's just like, "Oh my gosh, like even just that, like even them
Yeah.
thinking that, I'm just like, wow."
It literally means the
It
world.
means
Yeah.
so much to the person on prep. And then like I think just being able to keep that communication open and like being willing to do those
Yeah.
little, like seemingly little things
services,
for them.
yeah.
Yeah, acts of service
Mhm.
that could go a long way.
Yeah. And prep too, like everyone has a different love language, but when you're in a prep, you know that acts of service is exaggerated and everything else might be pulled down just because you don't have enough energy to do things. So that's when like the services come in and take y'all to the next level and just carry y'all to a better place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So I think something else that I wanted to touch on too was like the tool of therapy. So I know like for me personally, like Zach and I, when we were first navigating like my very first prep with us like dating and being together, we just had some sticking points of like lack of communication and then like my energy going down and like our intimacy like disappeared. And so just being able to go to therapy and like have that third person view and like for us to get more tools from therapy of how to navigate that has been huge. And so honestly, like we loved it so much, it helped us so much that we just like continue going.
Yeah.
So we go every month and I think if you are able to, just being able to go to therapy, whether that's like individual or couples or like with a friend,
Mhm.
I think that could be a really big tool.
I agree. And I will say, like, libido goes down a ton in prep. So
Yeah.
the intimacy and the chemistry may be pulled back down a lot. It's never personal. If it is personal, definitely communicate that. But usually it's not personal. So just understand that if you're an outsider, like, hey, like this is what's gonna happen. Again, acts of service. Yeah.
I like that.
You like it? Do you have any other tips?
I would say we touched on a lot of it. A lot of
Mhm,
it
I
centers
agree.
around like communication, doing things for others, using tools at your disposal, but just maintaining relationships that you have in prep. They can be challenging. Like if this is your first time in prep or if you're an outsider supporting someone in prep, just know that like what you're going through is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all will get through it.
Yeah.
But I hope you take some of our tips and use them throughout your prep or your friends or significant others' prep. And make sure that there's always growth happening for each other.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, hopefully you guys chose this and it was something that like both of you discussed and like you can go
Yeah.
through this together and you can use it to grow and learn
Yeah.
more about each other.
It's definitely, it helps you build together. So use it as that.
Yeah, every single time I come out of prep, I just feel like Zach and I are just that much stronger because we go through it together for
Yeah,
sure.
That's super cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you feel more relentless now than when you first tuned in. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. We have one more thing before you guys leave the podcast. We drew the raffle winners. And I just want to say thank you guys all so much for all the beautiful reviews that you left, all the DMs that you sent us. Like that truly just means the absolute world to us. They were so nice. You guys have the most amazing positive feedback, and it makes our
Yeah,
days.
it warms our
does.
heart, and it thank you for letting us impact your lives. And
Yeah,
just,
Yes.
that means like probably the most
yes,
out of
that's why we do
anything.
this. We just
Having
wanna
an
help you.
impact on anyone's lives is one of the coolest things we can do.
Most
Being
special.
able to help just one person,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that just means the world. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. We drew the winners, and so the 3 winners, please DM us or send us an email, becomingrelentless@gmail.com, I believe. It's in the link in our
Yes.
bio.
If you, when you send the email, also DM us like a screenshot saying, "Hey, I sent the email," just so to make sure that we
Yeah.
get back to you.
Exactly. And so, okay, without further ado, I'll just announce the winners. Congratulations to Katie Higney, KK Jackwards. That was the name of the
Of your-
profile that left the review
on Apple
So I'm not sure
Podcasts.
what your name is. It was on Apple Podcasts. Please DM us. And Jacqueline Green. So you 3, congratulations. Thank you guys for leaving such beautiful reviews
Yes.
and ratings. And we look
We're-
forward to hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we're really excited to get to work.
Exactly.
It's gonna
love
be a
y'all.
lot of fun.
Let's get to work. I love it. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye. Stay relentless.
Move it.